Music courtesy and No Name Tim. Oh man, I got my microphone. Jeez. Ooh, I really got my microphone. This might be it for this microphone, guys. We'll have to see. With that, welcome to the Hyphen Universe show. I am your host with the most, sometimes ghost. I like toast or roast. Put me in the post. I'll coast to victory. Kellen Conley, aka B Hyphen. And welcome, like I said, welcome into another edition of the Hyphen Universe show. It's good to have you all here again, have you here with me. I really appreciate that each and every time that we do this. And I mentioned before on the show, I was like, yeah, when I start the Hyphen podcast or the Hyphen Universe show, I told myself, I even said that I wanted to take the time, and I'm just posting links, so don't mind me if I pause in between everything. But I just really wanted to take the time to make sure that I'm checking in on everybody's mental health. But before I really get into that, how's everybody doing today? I am great. I'm feeling good. And I'm feeling pretty fantastic. Yeah, I'm tired. Like I didn't think this was gonna happen. I'll be 100%. I'll keep it a buck with y'all. I didn't think it was gonna happen. Did not think it was in the cards for me. And I got a third wind, I guess, after I folded some laundry, and I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just try it out. Let's try it out and see what happens. And here we are, man. I got everything running. I'm live on Facebook over on my Facebook page, which is under Hyphen Universe, facebook.com/B Hyphen. I am blasting out the links as we speak to Twitter and to Threads, which probably means that no one's going to see those things, but algorithm's going to algorithm. And then I will also slide on over to the IG Live. Let me move this over so I can look. Yeah, slide on over to the IG Live here, and then put it over there. I know this is like podcasting one-on-one for y'all, but y'all be all right. Y'all be all right. I promise. I promise. All right, no more distractions. Okay, I lied. One more time. Oh, I don't want to add music. Oh, move your thumb. I want to do a link again. All right, here we go. Podcasting 101. And I'm just gonna, no, I don't love it. The Hyphen Universe show is live. That's what I needed to say. And then backspace all the way to here. And we're good. And then put my special color link on there. Put it right here above my head. We got it. Good. Okay. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? That's what happens when you've had a long day and you summon the last bit of energy you have in order to podcast. You forget things, and then you have to do them on pod. But you know what? We're human, and the show's only going to get better from here. So, like I said, when I first started Hyphen Universe show, I had mentioned that one of the things I definitely wanted to do was I wanted to continue to talk about mental health on a more regular basis. My old show, Hyphen Nation, I have 3 episodes out there. They're called Self-Care, and they each have like a clever little title. The first one I did was when I was still working at my old job before I got fired, and I was depressed, and I didn't really know what to do, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in the pod and talk about how I feel in the pod, and I did that. And then not that long after is when that meme came out that said men will start podcasts instead of therapy. So guilty, unfortunately. The second episode, I was not so much depressed, but I was more angry because of things that was going on at my current job at the time that was really bothering me. So I kind of talked about my anger there and got that out. And the third one was I did that last year, and that was just a regular check in to see how I was doing. And it's funny because I did that episode, and then I'd record all this episode, and essentially the whole episode, I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I hope things are good for you, and if not, you should do all these things. And turns out I had something hooked up wrong, some setting wrong, and I lost that whole episode. And then I sat back down a day or two later to re-record it, and all of a sudden, everything wasn't so great. I was more honest than I was the first time. So it was very eye-opening to see myself lie like that an entire episode, and I was going to post it. But obviously, I lost that for a reason. This episode is sponsored by Kroger Seltzer Water, Pink Grapefruit. I have one left, so if anybody wants to send your boy some sparkling water, I'm on a kick right now. This fat, it's actually, you're going to hear this on Wednesday for people listening to catching this on YouTube or on any podcast listening platform you use. But it's Fat Tuesday, and I'm celebrating with a seltzer water. Say you're 41 without saying you're 41. Anyway, when I started the Hyphen Universe show, I wanted to continue the theme of checking in on mental health, and I said I was trying to do this probably about once a month. And I consider February the official launch of the Hyphen Universe show. There's episodes that came before last week's, but that was more like a soft launch kind of thing, just to kind of test the waters out. And now I consider this in the show proper, especially now the Hyphen Universe, Hyphen Nation is over. So, this episode is all about mental health. So, I call this self-care. So, I know I said I'm feeling great, I'm feeling good, feeling fantastic. That's just going to probably be a tagline unless things are really bad. But honestly, that Super Bowl wore me out. We don't talk about the Super Bowl. We don't have to beyond that. Beyond there was a game played on Sunday. Don't have to say anything else. And, I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, cool, I guess. That's all I got to say. Cool, I guess. Good job. I mean, that's all that you can. That's all you can do. Gotta check one more thing now, because now something looks funny. Streaming's a pain in the butt, man. And then my picture pops up. Hey, everything's good. Sorry. But yeah, I'm very tired from that game that happened. And overall, man, for real, I'm starting to realize that I need to give my body more sleep on a regular basis. Gone are the days of pushing to 11:30, 12:30 on a nightly basis and then turning around and getting up early. Those days are over. Those days are long gone, unfortunately. And because of that, I've been trying to sleep more, and I've been enjoying sleep more, but that cuts into the creative times that I'm supposed to be able to come on here and do something I love, or come down here and mix one of my new songs, something like that. So I was tired from that, and then I slept really well last night, and then right before this, right after I got laid in the bed, I was done. I was like, yeah, there's no way. I am not going down to the basement other than turn off the heater and hang up these clothes and turn off my lights. And that was my entire plan. Oh, I forgot something. I had to turn on my Raiders lamp back there. And I got down here, and all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I think I can do this. I just need to suck it up and do it. And I was like, let me just hook everything up and test stuff out and see how it does first. I mean, we'll go from there after that. That was the whole plan. and everything plugged in fine. You hear the No Name Tim music playing in the background. By the way, he has a fantastic new podcast out that he was on. I want to shout him out because I've been listening to it today. It is, oh look, Taylor Swift. Not to have a problem with Taylor, but that's because of Aaliyah. The podcast is called What You Don't Hear, and it's episode 104, the story of No Name Tim. So go check out a friend of the show, producer, and my friend, No Name Tim's interview on that pod. And you can also listen to Tim 3 or 4 times on the Rasslecast and then once on Hyphenation. So go forward, but I got the music playing. I got my mic sounding nice. And here I am, man. So overall today was really good compared to yesterday where I felt like I slept walked through the whole day. I got stuff done. I was able to, work wise, I got stuff done. I was able to help out when with a couple situations. That was cool. I really enjoyed that. Got to work with my team and stuff today, and so that was good. Came home, ate more sloppy joes because that was what I made for the Super Bowl, and I've been eating sloppy joes ever since. Man, I love sloppy joes. And watched a little YouTube, watched some more Sopranos, finished season 2. Can't recommend Sopranos enough after watching the first 2 seasons in full for the first time since the show debuted. I'd already seen had always seen random episodes, but now getting to actually see everything in chronological order and watching these characters really come to life and become these larger and these iconic characters that they're known as today in the zeitgeist. I think it's really cool. I'm really enjoying Sopranos, man. Spoilers, but R.I.P. Pussy, man. R.I.P. Pussy. And I'm not putting an explicit tag on this because that's the name of the character. R.I.P. Sal. Oh, man. But no, I'm not in a bad place. On Saturday, I was able to re-record 4 songs for the album. I discovered I like my raps better when I'm standing up versus when I'm sitting down. So the entire album was recorded with me sitting down. And so I'm in the process of kind of beefing up or redoing songs where the energy isn't present like it would be if I'm standing up. So that's what I got to work on Saturday. I mixed down a new song. So I have 2 fully mixed and mastered songs now out of 11. I finished the intro of the album. It's coming. I'm really hoping for March, but I'm very excited to get back to working on the album. So that happened. I finally, and I believe this is going to post tomorrow or the same day you listen to the pod. It'll be posted today. Finally finished a piece, an article, so to speak. An article I was writing about Tupac that I started when he got his star on the Walk of Fame last summer. And then I stalled out. Then I started it back up near the anniversary of his shooting. And I got a good ways in, but then I stopped again. I finally finished this. Piece last weekend. So it's February, so that's 2 months. Walk of Fame was what? July, August when that was? So let's say July. So to be working on one article for 7 months, especially when you're not getting paid, is crazy. It's like 2,000 words. It's not even that long. But I didn't even know how to finish it. But I finished it. And I'm very excited about that. Didn't think, never would have made it. Man, like, whew. I was not optimistic. I thought that was going to be one of those DNFs, man. Did not finish. But I pulled it out, so that's coming out. And then besides that, I'm glad that we have a little break from Aaliyah's meets travel wise. We had 2 back-to-back in January. This will be our second weekend without having a meet. and then next weekend she has her second home meet, so we'll still be home here in Morgantown, and then she has two more. She has a road meet in Leesburg, Virginia, which isn't that far from where I live in Caden Bridge, where my dad lives, and then we have the the state championships in Beckley, and then her season's over. So we've had some light travel compared to where I felt like even last year, the season before, we were we it felt like we're every time we turned around, we had to go to another out of town for another meet. So, um, I've had no complaints there. So in this moment right now, being completely honest and transparent, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Not loving my weight right now. I weighed myself for the first time in a minute. Gained a whole lot of weight back. So really disappointed in myself there, but I'm going to try to turn it around next few months, get it back, going back down the way I want it to be, and I'm taking full accountability. I'm not going to let that affect my mood. I know I've been overeating. I've been overeating so good though, yo. I'm man, ever since really, man, ever since Mexico. That's why I gained it all back. I came back from Mexico after being at all inclusive for a week, and I never turned it back off. And I have had a lot of good meals, man. A lot of good meals. But that's not affecting my mental health. I know I want to do something about that and start trending in the right direction that I want to go. So that's in the back of my mind, but that's not affecting anything too bad. I'm over that period of joy where it's your birthday and it's like, yeah, it's my birthday. Really, oh, your birthday, blah, blah, blah. And, that lasts for however long that lasts, which of course is followed by me having to be very observant and aware for the next, after my birthday, I had to be for the next 7 days. I had to be very mindful about everything I had going on because Mom's birthday is on July 30th. On January the 30th, she's 8 days after me. So immediately as I was coming off of the glow from the birthday, I had to make sure that I was maintaining and recognizing the fact that her birthday was coming up and it was going to affect me some kind of way, and I just wanted to be very mindful. So I managed through that okay. I grieved, coped in my own ways. I don't believe I took out any anger or anything out on anybody. I was very careful not to let myself get triggered, or if I was going to be triggered by something, I'd let it happen and not try to bury it, of course. So, got past that. Dang, I just punched the mic. I got past that. And, yeah, I mean, since then, I mean, that was January 30th. We just been cruising through February. It's already February 14th tomorrow. Happy Valentine's Day, or if it's today you're listening to this. If it's Wednesday, happy Valentine's Day. Actually, I'm going to come back to that. So, my mental check-in is I'm okay. So, I'm going to go to the other side of that right after I talk about Valentine's Day real quick. So, this goes hand in hand with what this episode's about self-care. Look, not everybody out there has a Valentine, man. And that's okay. That is perfectly okay. You may be in a situationship. You may be coming off a breakup. You may just be struggling in the dating field. Can't get a date. Nothing is really sticking. There's all kinds of reasons why you may be without a significant other this Valentine's Day. But since we're talking about self-care, in the spirit of Galentine's Day, where all the all the single gals, and then you have to be single. Mostly all the girls get together and they go out and celebrate women on Valentine's Day and their sisterhood of the ya traveling pants, all that stuff. In that same spirit, just because you don't have a significant other, just because you might not be going out to a fancy dinner, just because you ain't going out dancing, and just because you may be riding solo in that bed that night, just because does not mean that you're any less worthy of love. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, you've been married for like 20 years. Look at you. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I am coming from a privileged place. I'm in a relationship. I have been in a relationship for a long time. But at the same time, I also have seen many people just let being single bring them down. And obviously, it's your mental health. It is your journey you're going on. So it is ultimately up to you how you let the fact you don't have a significant other bother you. That's perfectly fine. But I just recommend, just a little bit, I just recommend that if you're going to be alone on Valentine's Day, no big plans, I'm going to pull another Parks and Rec thing. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Go out. Go forward. And it doesn't have to be in the middle of like the craziness of Valentine's Day. No. Go forward. And maybe you leave work a little bit early today. Maybe you get off and you go to your favorite restaurant that's just opening, and you walk in and like, hey, I don't have an appointment reservation, but is it cool if I just get dinner for myself before the rush starts? And you take yourself in that restaurant, in your restaurant that you'd like to go on a date on, and you have yourself a little date. You order a glass of wine, you get a beer, you get your favorite food from there, you take in the atmosphere, you relax, you don't mess with your phone. Just appreciate being in the moment of having a meal that you can treat yourself to at a place you want to eat and enjoy yourself. I eat out all the time by myself. And it's there's something to be said for being able to go out and do that. Now some people's like, I could never eat by myself. That's just too weird. I said I like to eat, so guess what I'm gonna do if I go out? I'm eating. I am eating. Absolutely. Therefore, you do that. Then you take yourself home. Or maybe you go catch a movie after that. Maybe you're like, I'm going to go see this movie I want to go see. I love going to movies by myself. Again, I might be a weirdo. Wouldn't be the first time somebody said that. But you go to the movies, you pick out a film you want to see, get your little snack, go in the movie theater, watch the dang movie. Go home, call it a night. That's self-care. Or go home and watch a movie on TV. Go cuddle up with your pets, man. And then at night, love yourself and go to sleep. That's self-care. All right? I'm just saying. It's self-care. I promise. So, going back to how I'm truly feeling right now in this moment, aside from I'm not even embarrassed, I'm proud to say it. I don't care. I mentioned being really mindful with my mom's birthday coming up, and then trying to make sure that I was not letting it affect how I treated other people while still understanding the emotions I was going through. And it's taken 9 years worth of training now. Which is crazy. Just like I did, take a few seconds and really think about check in with yourself. And I know it feels funny, but look, this isn't going out to eat by yourself. This isn't going to movies by yourself. This isn't loving yourself by yourself. And any of that, okay? This literally is just a quick little thing, but like, how do I feel right now? And being able to even say it to yourself honestly is a feat in itself. But if you're alone, just say how you feel and be honest with yourself. If you rather write it down, like I'm feeling this, you want to journal it out, do that. But one of the biggest takeaways that I have found works for me is being able to stop in a moment and figure out what's bothering me. And that's only from years of me doing this very thing where I'm trying to check in and figure out what's really bothering me. Now, I'm not going to lie though and be like, all right, this is what's bothering me. So, because this thing's bothering me, I'm not going to project it on this other thing. I'm not perfect. I do that all the time, and I try not to do it. Try not to. I know this one thing's bothering me, but I'm just going to be mad about this other thing that isn't the thing, but it's just easier to take my anger out on that. I do that all the time. I am not saying this is a perfect method, but even at those times where I'm weak enough to admit that I'm projecting towards something that has nothing to do with how I really feel, being able to take those couple of minutes and just have that small conversation with yourself. How am I feeling today? And you saw how I broke it down. I just kind of went through the day. I wasn't sleeping well. Got plenty of sleep the night before. I felt like I had a good day at work. I had a nice chill evening. How I was tired. I didn't think I was going to be able to do this, but I was okay with that. But I really wanted to start the show out right and get several in a row off before I have to take a week off for some reason. Because again, that's the whole reason that the Hyphen Universe show exists, is because it's supposed to be a smaller format of Hyphenation, where I come on, I talk for X amount of time, 20-minute range. If it goes longer, cool, and then I'm out without having to sit here and try to hit a magical number that will fulfill a mental quota that I have for how long Hyphenation had to be. That's why this show exists. So just break down your day if you have to, just like I did. Like, all right, this happened this morning. This kind of made me mad at work. Why did it make me mad? Because it made me feel like this. And yes, you could be like, oh, I'm talking to myself. You talk to yourself all the time, you dummies. You don't got to talk out loud. I'm just saying. Just have that conversation with yourself. And then once you're able to identify where things went wrong today, then you can kind of start wondering if that's something that's you still feel bogged down by. Because infraction number 2 could have happened at 11 o'clock this morning, and you've been carrying that around all day when really you just need to take a deep breath and let it go. It's over. That's another big part of my little self-care routine. When it's over, it's over. Just let it go. I'm an Aquarius, and I love to hold a grudge, but that's against people usually. There's no point in me holding this anger or this emotion inside of me for longer than I need to. That doesn't serve me. That just bogs me down, like I said. But by doing that helps me be able to start feeling like I can breathe again and starting to process anything else that's going on with me. And don't forget, I know I said treat yourself on Valentine's Day, but even outside of that, don't forget, and this actually came from the pod that Tim was on. They were talking about this. It's okay to say no to doing things if your social battery's low. It's fine. It's fine. Like Thomas, one of my favoriteest people, bestest friends in the world, he wanted to come hang out. It's probably been over a year ago now. He's like, hey, I'm going to come over and hang out. And I just was depressed. And I was not having a good weekend. And I had to tell him, I was straight up like, hey, man, I don't think I can do this. Like, I don't have the bandwidth. I've been depressed. Really sorry. And he was fully understanding. He's like, no, I completely get it, man. Like, we all got that going on. And so I want to see y'all, but I completely understand that you feel that way. And yeah, that sucked. I wanted to hang out with Thomas. But I knew I wouldn't be the best me that I could be, essentially. Like, who wants to go hang out with somebody? And this is aside from not knowing You know, like people won't tell you they're depressed, so you're hanging out and you can tell something's wrong, but they don't want to talk about it. Like there's those people still in the world. This is from a standpoint of you know something's wrong and it's like, oh yeah, you can still come kick it. And sometimes you do, but at the same time, aren't you just a little bit less excited about hanging out with that person because you know they're going through something? Now, it'd be one thing if they're like, hey, can you come over here and kind of talk things out with me? I need to talk to somebody. That's one thing. You're going over there to help your friend. But if it's like, hey, man, I got this going on, you know, I'm not best friends with space, but you can come chill still. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. So you already know that going in. And you get there and they're just like, hey, what's up? And you can tell they're going through it, but they don't want to talk about it. They were like, yeah, you can still come over, whatever. But you can tell they don't want you there. Like that's not cool. That's not fair to them. So recognize when your social battery's low and just tell people no. Like, you know what? I don't want to go to dinner now because I'm just worn out from the day. Can we do this another time? Most of the time, they'll understand. Like, if it's something special, it's like, hey, I'm only graduating from college once, Dad. Why can't you be there? Your social battery's low. Sorry, I just watched the episode where Tony almost missed Meadows' graduation. Gee, Dad, thanks a lot. But, you know, here's one. I know we're supposed to watch this movie tonight, but I'm really tired. So it's okay if we not watch it tonight and then watch it on this day. Me to Aaliyah. Of course, she's 9. And usually she does pretty well with that, but sometimes she's probably going to get her way and get it the night that we originally promised. But it just be like that, man. Kids don't understand social batteries. Adults should. So learn to check in with yourself to kind of collect where you're at. Treat yourself on Valentine's Day. And then it's okay to say no to doing things with people, even if it was already scheduled before. If you're not there, you're not going to have fun. They're going to have less fun. It's better for you to be honest, like, hey, I'm not feeling it. I'd rather do that. Can we try to do this another day? If they're any kind of person, they'll respect that enough to be like, yeah, let's do it again another day. It's not a big deal. It's not. But those little things, the Valentine's Day piece is just for fun. But do as you wish with that. When you're able to start identifying what's going on with yourself, and then you're able to tell people when you can't, and when you don't want to, or when you can't, or why you don't want to stick with the plans you originally made. When you start to do that and recognize the impact it's going to have on what's supposed to be good vibes, then yeah, I think that's when you're going to start actually seeing some difference in your own mental health and being able to really take care of yourself. So that's my check-in, and that is my opinion on just some tips that I could share. Hopefully they're coherent. I think they're pretty coherent, but I'm just saying on how you can deal with what's going on in your life. And most importantly above all that, if you feel like you don't want to talk to yourself because you think you're crazy, talk to a friend. Talk to a family member, man. Just talk to someone who will take the time to hear you out. It's okay. That's self-care too. I did not want to forget that. Mission accomplished. So like I said, I want to do this at least once a month and just kind of check in and, just kind of talk things through. And if you feel like there's anything you want to share with me, you can do so on the YouTube channel here. You can do it on Facebook, actually. You can leave comments in the chats on Facebook. You can do it on YouTube. You can always email me, bhyphen@gmail.com. At me on Twitter, at @b-universe, where this is being broadcast this week on Facebook, and then the B-hyphen on Instagram. So you can reach out to me in any of those formats, and I will be sure to Yeah, I mean, if you need to talk or you have questions or you want to share something with me, please do it. Please do it. I am inviting you to please share with me. That would be really cool. All right, man. So the Hyphen Universe show is brought to you by Hyphen Podcast Group. Great podcast being brought to the people. You can find Hyphen Podcast Group at hyphenpodcastgroup.com, Hyphen Pod Group on Twitter, Hyphen Podcast Group on Instagram and on Facebook. All right, told you how to get a hold of me. If you have been waiting for this podcast at your favorite podcast listening platform and you can't find it, tell me. I will find a way to get this podcast on there. If there's any other Hyphen podcasts, Hyphen Universe shows, Hyphen Podcast Group shows that you can't find on your favorite podcast listening platform, let me know, and I will fix that for you gladly. I'll figure it out. Man, so hopefully this helped you. This mental health check-in. Maybe it gave you some Valentine's Day plans. I don't know. If anybody's wondering, I am recovering nicely from the Super Bowl. When overtime hit, I let it go. I was like, I already know how this is going to go. When they didn't pull out in regulation, I was like, yeah, I know how this is going to go. I was scrolling my phone by the time the Chiefs won that game. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But besides that, I'm doing okay right now. So looking forward to the weekend and getting a haircut. Shout out to Sam. Man, but I highly encourage you, just cannot say this enough, to make sure you're giving people their flowers while they're still here. Make sure you're telling people how much they mean to you, how much you love them, and call your friends and family, man. Hug your kid, kiss your wife, kiss your husband, kiss your significant other, kiss your non-binary pal. Do it. Do it all, man. Life's short. You never know when it's your time to go. You just don't, unfortunately. So, this has been the Hyphen Universe show, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all that have tuned in for the live edition. Or if you're listening to this on the pod, I greatly appreciate it. You can go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give it 5 stars, leave a review. I'll read it. If you're over on Facebook, of course, you can like the page if you want to do that. If you're over on YouTube, you can always subscribe to my videos, like the video, comment on the video. I'll read that on the pod too. And if you hit that notification bell, you never miss an upload. So, appreciate each and every one of y'all that listen to the sound of my voice. It's always a pleasure being here with y'all. While y'all listen to me ramble about the things that go on in my brain. I do appreciate it, man. This was another fun episode of the Hyphen Universe show. Once again, I am your host, Kellen Conley, a.k.a. B Hyphen. Thanks, y'all. Morgantown weather reports. Currently 37 degrees and cloudy here in Morgantown. Looks like there might be some 50% chance of snow showers at 12 a.m. So between 12 and 1 a.m. there might be some snow. And then by 1 p.m. tomorrow we're up to 39. High's going to be 45. 60% chance of snow. Wednesday, 43. Thursday, 53. Friday, 42. Saturday, 36. Sunday, 44. So it does not look like we're going to be lucky enough to have super warm weather like we did last time. But, last weekend that is. That's okay. That's okay. It is still February, and we know global warming is a thing. But I'm perfectly okay with us having middling weather until like late March, April, and then start giving me my warm days back. Please and thank you.